Welcome back to another video on the Wrestling and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. And with Forbidden Door coming up in a few weeks, AEW's already started bringing in people from other promotions to build up this card, including someone who challenged for a title this week. So yeah, there's lots going on, but the show opened with the world champion Swerve and Prince Nana to hype up his match against Ospreay. He was eventually interrupted by the Elite as the group issued an open challenge for blood and guts. Swerve talked and crashed and got into a brawl before the Acclaim showed up. Christopher Daniels ordered everyone out of the ring except Perry, who was fighting Rose in the first bout. Blood and guts is coming. Yeah, the matchup's looking very intriguing. Can't wait for that. But we got into that match. The Natural ducked a running punch as soon as he entered the ring and began showing his experience as he entered the ring. Rose was then busted open relatively early and almost ended up getting counted out when having trouble recovering for a few minutes. After a long recovery, Perry nailed him with a running knee for the pin. This match was decent but very long, but it wasn't very long. I think it worked to the benefit, though, of course, Dustin Rose being such an experienced competitor. Obviously, Perry getting the right decisions to progress, and Jay's got to be one of my favourites, 6 out of 10. Before Roosh was in action against the local talent, he was dragged out of the ring and thrown into the barricade several times. Bronco won easily and hit some more until MJF came out and attacked him. They both took out security guards and then kept fighting. Before the next match was a 6-man tag. With a Carl on each time. The Kingdom, Trent Beretta and Don Callis were accompanied by the heel team. Roddy and OC began the match for their teams, but when Cassidy tagged in, Kyle O'Reilly, Strong brought in Fletcher. This match included a few different feuds, addressed all of them, but the action kind of felt like it was going from spot to spot rather than a cohesive fight. Fletcher got the win for his team on Briscoe, but the fight continued. Nightingale's music hit, but we saw Statlander beating her up on the stage afterwards. And Jake gets 7 out of 10. I thought it was a fun match. I kind of like the way it intertwined it. Obviously, there was a few criticisms, but I think the way it kind of all meshed together, it was pretty nice in the end. 7 out of 10. Before Samoa Joe and Hook's new alliance was put to the test as they took on Nice and Daivari, the fight began quickly and they won easily. Shibata choked out Mark Sterling for good measure. It wasn't a squash, but it was close, so yeah, I'll move on. Before Zexus had a big opportunity when she took on Mercedes Moné for the TBS title. She's the partner of the woman Mercedes will face up for Forbidden Door, so the outcome is a bit obvious. What made it made nonsense was that Stephanie Valco was at ringside, so she could help. Zex had the starting advantage, but it wasn't enough to be dominant, and Monet picked up the win to retain her title in a predictable but solid bout. So yeah, I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. I wasn't really aware of Zexus, but I think she put in a good turn, but yeah, the result was obvious. Before it was time for Jericho and his crew to take up some TV time, with Daniel Garcia defeating Nick Comoroto in the first match. Yeah, another squash match, let's roll over it. Before this week's main event was the international title match between Phoenix and Ospreay. Tony Schiavone promised they would stick with the match as long as it took, and as to AEW's most skilled high flyers in the ring, there was no way this could be anything less than fun. They could have coasted and still put on a banger, but it never felt like they were going to do that. Yeah, the pace was quick, the strikes were stiff. They weren't past the top of the hour into overtime by a few minutes, then Ospreay won by a hidden bay with a confrontation with Swerve after it was over. Yeah, I thought this was great. It built to that Swerve match, but before that we got an absolute banger of the match between two of the best performers in AEW, and they really delivered and put on a show here. So on the whole, this was great and gets an 8 out of 10 from me. And overall, Dynamite gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, it was a really enjoyable episode of Dynamite this week, I have to say. Some brilliant matches across the card. You can see the build to Forbidden Door slowly getting there. But yeah, especially love the Ospreay Phoenix match. Mercedes Moné, good to see her in action building to that match. So yeah, on the whole, I thought it was a pretty solid show all around and gets a 7 out of 10. Guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.